Now let me break this open so that you know something. Okay. Turn it back here. Now the first one is and they were permitted to kill. They were not permitted to kill anyone but torment for 5 months. I'll get back to that. It was like the torment of a scorpion when it stings a man, and in those days when men, blah, blah, blah. And the appearance of the locust was like a horse. Which birth sign is that? Thank you. Prepared for battle, and on their heads, as it were, crowns like gold, and their faces were like the faces of men. What birth sign is like a man? There's only one. Nope. That's two. That's twins. Aquarius, the water bearer, pour of knowledge. Okay, I don't lose my place here. And they had hair like the hair of women. What sign is a feminine? Okay, Virgo. All right, I knew Virgo over there would get there. Okay, hold on a second here. And they had hair like the hair of women, and they had teeth, and their teeth were like the teeth of lions. Who is the lion? All right, okay. Did you get it yet?
I think I got it.
Right. Now, how many signs did I just read? No, I should have, no, right. No, I actually read 5 because they had a sting like sting of, all right. All right, now each sign is how many days? How many days are in each sign? How many degrees are in each sign? No, each sign. 30. Well, that's how many days there are. And 5 times 30 is what? Huh? Okay. 5 months is 5 30s. Okay, but they would be tormented for 5 months. Okay. Now, not 5 times. 5 signs, 30 degrees each, 30 days. That's 5 months. Okay. Okay. Now, that's Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and the feet Pisces. Okay? That's the 5 months. The 5 parts of the body that are influenced by the area that Scorpio governs. Okay? So when you see somebody 20 years from now walking like this, you know they've depleted the fluids, the vita libra of Scorpio in their spermatosa or ovum that affects the sciatic nerve center. Okay? I'm trying to tie this in here so that you appreciate the physiology and the signs. Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Okay, those are the lower extremities. Now, I wanted to. There was another verse in here. I wanted to tie in here where I have this HBL here. That was my key to remember that. And I think I don't know if I got to it yet or not. Well, let me go on here. Now, here, this is very interesting because I want you to appreciate what these battles are about. And they had teeth of lions. What part of the physical anatomy, the biochemistry, does Leo govern? Any Leos remember that? The blood. Yes. That can rend your heart asunder. through anger, hatred, meanness, and lust can tear up your body. The blood is that only part of our physical anatomy that goes to every part of our body and never ceases. When it does, you're done. It keeps moving. And it has speed. And what else is in the blood? Fire. Okay? That's the teeth of this locus. Now look at this anagrammatic word, locus. That's a locus. That's why they're using this little bitty insect that only eats vegetarian, herbivorous rather, cannot kill anybody, and gives it all of this costume, these teeth like lions, okay, hair like a woman. Okay. And that ain't all it put in it, because keep in mind, the book is not about the trauma and the tragedy. Keep that in mind. It is about your evolving, your developing, your going through the problem to get to the answers and the solution. Okay. The elements that your body needs to strengthen it are also depicted in these signs. Okay? Now, we already went across two of them in chapter 8, verse 7. And the first sounded, and there came hail and fire mixed with blood. Hail and fire is what? It's mentioned in one of the other verses here. I'll get to that. Hail and fire mixed with blood. Who has blood? We have blood. Hail and fire. Energy that heals, that burns up the chafe, those creatures mentioned in the next verse. And a third of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died. Okay. That's the negatives, the poisons, the foreign matter, the diseases are burned up by this hail and fire mixed with blood. Okay? That's spiritual energy. That's here. This is where Scorpio reigns supreme, the sacral vertebrae. Now let me draw this for you so you can see this. So you can see this. I'll draw it this way just for, I should have some blueprints. This is the vertebrae. This is the sacral part of the vertebrae. This is the coccygeal bone that curves down under your girt. Okay? At the end of that coccygeal vertebrae is a nerve center that curves down like this. That's where your ejaculation takes place. That stings. And if you keep stinging it and stinging it and stinging it, you burn it out. Because it affects the whole nervous system below the nava, below the navel. Now remember, we mentioned this before. It takes 24 hours for the body to make a usable supply of spermatoza for male and ovum for women. It takes 72 hours for the body to redistribute this vita libra, this energy force, this life force, which is what is in your spermatoza. It isn't just the spermatoza or the ovum, this power that's in it. It travels up. That's what Judges chapter 18 is about. This tribe of Danites are traveling in search of their prosperity, in search of their inheritance and a place to live in. Okay? That's this vital energy that is dominated in this particular area of the human body. The power source. Yes. The sacral. No, we're talking about vertebrae here. The gland is called that's the adrenal. Here are the organs. I'll read them out. The organs that this particular sign influences. I won't say govern and rule because that doesn't seem to give a clear picture. Influences. The sexual organs, male and female, the bladder, the urethra, the prostate gland, the rectum, the coccygeal vertebrae, the sciatic nerve. This nerve also runs down through the right humerus bone, the hollow of your thigh, all the way down to your feet. It's the longest single nerve center in the human body and is attached to the sacral vertebrae area. Okay. This sign we're talking about is the regenerative drive in the human and spiritual body. By spiritual body, I mean the astral form. Your astral body not only looks just like your physical body, it is made like your physical body because it's the blueprint that your mother's body uses to make your physical body. When you come down into the medulla oblongata, into your mother's body, you come down as an astral being, shrinking to get into this small fetus of about 3 months. And you already look like what you're going to look like. And the intelligence of your mother's body, her subconscious mind, starts to form this genetic code of what you already look like and gives you a body so that you look like what you already look like. That's how intelligent your mama's body is, and she is. Okay? This is powerful because it governs generation, regeneration, and degeneration. If Scorpio leans over on the wrong side of his or her energy, they tear up their world, and everybody else in it. All of the astrologers say about Scorpio, it is either God or the devil. There's no in-between for Scorpio. They're going to be one or the other. They ain't going to be almost all right and not so all right. They're going to be really all right, or they're going to be really terrible. They travel this polarity and polarize at one end of it, positive or negative. There is no in-between for them. But they have the potential to become the greatest of souls. These 30 degrees represents the full level of Mahatma in the yogic sense. A full master, grand soul is what Scorpio is capable of achieving once they get to their spiritual identity. This is the 30 degrees that has mastery over the sexual world. They have the power. Even the men have power over sex. A Scorpio man can get the sister in bed before he finds out our last name. And I mean that. They have that kind of, quote, animal magnetism, charismatic drive or pull. It is almost a magical charm. They have command of it. But if they don't know that, it becomes their obsession, because a scorpion will do what in his attack? Will sting himself to death. Isn't that amazing? No control is what the indication is. By this animal, by losing control of that power, by any of us losing control, this is the big one here. This has destroyed empires, families. We're going to talk a little bit about Pluto in Scorpio in a minute. Let me give a little bit more of this here. After verse 8, verse 9, after having read, and they had hair like the hair of women, and they had teeth, and their teeth were like the teeth of lions, and they had breastplates like breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings was like the sound of chariots of many horses rushing to battle. What sign represents breasts? No cancers in here? What is a breastplate? What's in the breast? Come on, mama. What's in y'all's breast? Thank you. And what is the content of milk? What is the mineral in milk? What's the other one? It's right here in front of you. And they had breastplates like breastplates of iron. Right. One of the strengthening, rejuvenating elements in the blood. Okay? This is all in the body, in the organs, and in the biochemistry of the human body. It is even stated that if you eat the right foods, follow a sensible diet of clean living and thought, your spiritual stuff will just open up. I've only heard of a couple that have done that, but that's the alludement that could happen. But for most of us, we've been trained to eat the wrong foods. We're eating synthetics. We're eating more chemistry than we are anything else over here. We wear chemicals, we sleep on chemicals, and we eat chemicals. So we've got to be rejuvenated. Therein is the real key of Scorpio, the regenerative process. What did Moses do in the desert with the serpent? He lifted up the serpent in the desert, right? Okay. This is the serpent that you have to lift up. This is the Kundalini, the coiled line. This is the cosmic fire that burns up all the poisons in the body, all the chafe, all of the dead energy, all of the foreign matter that the body cannot use. Not all the germs. We are a composition of germs, but there's some germs our body cannot use. But when they accumulate, they become poison. So when you raise up this serpent, the Kundalini, the cosmic fire, the queen of the south, okay, this is the south. This is what? What's up here? Ain't none of my other students here. This is the north. This is the west. Front of the body. This is the east. The back of the body. Okay? That's where you are, right in the center, right behind your sternum bone. Okay? That's where you are right now. Okay? In the center of the cross. Okay. Okay, how much time we got here? I should have asked him how much time we got left on what, because I wanted to get to some other information here. I'm going to get back to that we're going to go all the way through that. Let me see here. The front of the body, the top of the head is north. 30 minutes? Okay. The feet and this area is the south. This is the south gate where Hiram Abiff tried to escape from. This is the north gate. This is the west gate. This is the east gate. The 4 gates mentioned in Revelation. This is where Hiram Abiff was killed. Now let me read it first, then, because I want you to know what's here. If you read it, it'll make you inquisitive. I didn't finish this here. Let me see. You can get so caught up in this book here once you start getting into it. And they had breastplates like breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings was like the sound of chariots of many horses rushing to battle. That's the sound of the word of God, the beating of wings, the humming of bees' wings, okay? Or any insect that makes that sound with their wings. Okay? That's the holy word, is the divine sound. It's antithetical of what it appears to be in its symbological presentation. In other words, it appears to be monsters and monstrous. Okay? And that keeps the ignorant out of the mystery until they mature and can get their consciousness into that knowledge. The Kabbalists are responsible for that. The dragons and the serpents with teeth and tails and fire pouring out of their mouths. All symbolical language to keep the spiritually immature out. That's what it's for. Okay. And they have tails like scorpions and stings, and in their tails is the power to hurt men 5 months. Okay? From here down are the 5 signs. 5 months, 5 sets of 30s. It hurts all of this area. Okay? Now let me say this now, because I see some strange looks. Sex is good. Divine love peoples heaven. Carnal love peoples the earth. So we know it's ordained by nature. No matter what Reverend Biscuit says, it's good. Always has been, always will be. But like any good thing can be too much of a good thing. You can overdo it. You can abuse. Okay? And the problem is, this is power in here. Power that can dominate all of your thinking, all of your feelings, all of your emotions, all of your chemistry, because spermatozoa goes into the blood. And it gets in the blood and it gets cooked by the heat of your own blood. If you wonder why the sex crimes keep happening, how can somebody beat up a woman in the face and still have an erection to make love to her? Does that make any sense up here to anybody? Not in the sane sense of sense, except this is in control, not here. Ain't nothing going on up here. He's following everything down here. is driving him crazy, and he don't even know it. He don't know what he's doing. This is power. So if you want to know where this stuff is coming from, I'm telling you where it's coming from. The beast that comes up out of the abyss is our psychic drives attached to our human egos. I want. It does not say I need. I want. And the less control one has over their appetites, the more one wants. Because that force, that drive, your passions, your chemistry, your blood, all push forward to get the appetite satisfied. And it never gets satisfied. You wake up the next morning, you're still hungry. Before you go back to bed, you get sleepy. So you got to do it over and over. You got to eat and sleep and drink the pop and drink the coffee and drink the tea and drink the gin and drink. That's that bottomless pit that all of us have to deal with until we put on the crown of gold, which is authority, power over, and we start determining what we shall desire. Because it isn't just us. Like in the old days, it was what people could see wherever they could get to the market. The market can get in your house. When you reach down there and turn that little button on, click. That's where most people's desires are coming from. They're being manufactured. I want, I want, I want, I want, I want. Listen to this. Buy this and save. Isn't that an interesting, peculiar way to get you to save some money? If you will buy this, you will save. That's advertising. And the subliminal stuff, we don't even need to get into that. Every time you turn that damn thing on, you're looking at one thing, and they flash right behind it. And 15 minutes later, damn, I'd like to get me a McDonald's. You just got to eat. Building up this commercial appetite. So it's important to sort out. That's what discriminate means, to sort out the difference between what you want and what something else wants you to want. You notice I never use the word need. All of our needs are inside. All of our desires are carrying us outside. Okay. And that doesn't mean desire is bad. We have to have them. That's how you get to heaven. You desire to go to heaven. Okay. But it's important to be able, for you to be able to focus your desire. If you want some money, focus it on money. Don't say, I ain't got. I ain't going to get. I can't. Okay? Because you're giving commands to your own subconscious when you do that. Okay, did I get far away from there? Oh, Pluto. Pluto came into Scorpio in 1984, and it's just going out this year. And from 1984 is when this rash of crimes began to bombard the news media, because it had been going on, but of course the news media didn't see any profit in carrying the stories, particularly in the black community, until it got extraordinary. This particular planet, Pluto, which was discovered in 1930, governs the total collective subconscious realm. And on this subconscious collective is the conscious subconscious, the unconscious subconscious, and the unconscious unconscious subconscious. And on down and on down. This is where this creature comes up out of. These psychic dark sides of nature. That means they're in all of us. That's why you get so much, I could kill that guy. That's stuff coming up when you get that angry. That's what's been going on since 1984 in the Western Hemisphere. And we have seen the beast at work. We know what it can do in the murders, the killings, the raping, senseless stuff that even animals don't do. All of this wave of crime, something 30 years ago, my generation particularly never dreamed we would hear of black boys killing black folks with guns. That wasn't anywhere near our mind. Black men tying up children and cutting their throats. We don't even have novels about that kind of murder. You know? We don't even have writers that even dreamed about that 30 years ago and wrote about it. That's Pluto in Scorpio. But it also has its positive side. It also raises up the inspiration to aspire to higher. It pushes the human ego to want peace, to want love. Can we all just get along? That's all they remember that brother for. Rodney King. That's the only thing he's left, because he got his money, though. But he took a good butt whipping to get it. I don't think I want that kind of $1 million. But he was in that drama, you know, and that was terrible. But it was revealed. They've been doing that. But somebody was there and let the whole world know. This is what the white police have been doing to black folks when they thought nobody was looking. That's Scorpio, pulling the cover off. Now they're getting ready to do something about the consequence of crime that's going to deter crime, one astrologer said. I don't know what that's going to be. I think it's going to be Bobette's thing here. You know, and I think that's going to make a lot of them that want to grab a sister, go, oh Lord, take it away from me, don't let me. They think about somebody chopping that little boy off. I think that'll make it go down, don't you? I think that's what they're getting ready to talk about, legalizing. Yeah, but that's chemical castration. No, they're talking now, it's about take it off, take it all the way off. I think that's going to make them go, maybe I better not grab her. You know? I think that's what they're talking about. That's Scorpio. Inspiration, re-education, that is not the goal. That's the consequence. Keep your mind in the right direction. Otherwise, you'll be running around with a razor blade. Come here, brother, let me talk to you a minute. Now, that's the other side of the tragedy, because remember, the psychic bent works both ways. Aggression, violent and beast-style, retaliation, violent and beast-style. You know? I mean, there's been some brothers sitting around and say, let's go find that one over there, cut his gun. I mean, you know, that's Pluto. But that's still off balance. Either way, that's still off balance. And we're trying to find balance. When you find balance, you get divinely guided. You start down the street and try to turn, and your spirit won't even let you turn the wrong way. Yeah? Or you jump in the car to go get something, and you can't start your car, you can't start your car. And you get to go back upstairs and turn the TV on. 2 men just came into 7-Eleven and shot 12 people. You know, like McDonald's, 3 days ago? Dude, in the morning, walks in McDonald's. Bam, bam, bam. Shot 3 black hamburger girls. A black dude. Yes, I did. There's the other side. Thank you. There's the flip side. There was 5 of them, wasn't it? 5 children lifted a car up off a man who was pinned under the car 2 days ago, I think. Yeah. That's Pluto. Yeah. The hero or the demon is one or the other. That's the kind of energy we're getting. Okay? So the idea in meditation, in spiritual practice, is to convert your energy. It's the same energy. The energy of peace, when pulled the wrong way, becomes the energy of furiousness. It makes you furious. Same energy. Or you're going to let it burn up your blood, because it will burn up your blood and then burn up your venous systems, your arteries, your aorta. Next thing you know, you got a heart attack. You see these folks walking around here in Atlanta? Dragon. Here. Electrical shock, anger. This side of the brain governs this side of the body. Those strokes, that's anger, hatred, bitterness, screaming and shouting and racing that blood at a speed of zoom. and they get the brunt of it. Balance. We're trying to find balance. I desire is Scorpio's astrological motto. Scorpio can bring to him or her the things they want by desiring it on a mental plane. They have that kind of energy. Excuse me. All of us do. They have it in control and in excess because they're attached to this desire line of our nature. They function from there. As I mentioned, sex is good. I think it's the last one I'm going to do here. I think we did this once. Didn't we? Spinal energy excretion. That's real sex. That's the spermatosa, the vita libra. Spinal energy excretion. Excretion. The glandular fluid that comes from the sexual area is then, after it's developed to a full supply, is pulled back up the spinal cord to the brain and feeds to regenerate the brain cells so that you can think. It doesn't give you more brain cells. You have all the brain cells that you need. The problem is, in the process of the alcohol and the reefer and the other stuff, they die. And you have to regenerate them. Yes? Retaining the fluid. Yeah, but we're not in the Tao monastic setting. That's why I'm talking about balance, okay? Because a lot of the priests in the Buddhaic monasteries, a lot of them was doing this, because they weren't doing anything with their energy. Bending over. You know what bending over is. Yeah, a lot of the Catholic priests, the Catholic monks, they were off balance, even though they were monastic, because many of them, they weren't getting the spiritual techniques. Pir-Vilayat Khan said it took 40 years before the Tibetan monks found out how to use the Tao. 40 years. They prayed and had basic meditation. The gong sounds, the music, they had the music, but before they found how to use the Tao, 40 years they stayed in it. And the Catholic bishops and monks never got it, except a few of them who were really spiritual beings woke up one day and got some insight and started teaching the other monks. But a lot of learned homosexuality happened in monastic settings. That isn't where we are. We're out here. Now, what we're supposed to do is rotate like you do your crop. Abstain. I know some of us can't do it no more than one day. But if you can't do but one day, do one day. Then jump, then do 2 days, then jump 2. Okay? Because if you keep jumping Monday to Sunday, you're jumping on empty. So your nervous system is going to get out of discord, out of tune, out of harmony. So as soon as your partner says something about, hey, baby, what? You don't even know why you're shouting at her. You know? Don't be feeling all on me. Out of tune. No lubrication on this cord. This is the 4 rivers of the Euphrates here. The spinal cords that go out. 4 rivers that come out of the Garden of Eden, right? I'm going to see if somebody can peep this. What is that, the Garden of what? One of you real quick Moorish scientists. Okay, I'll stop the mystifying here. That's the soul. That's what we need. That's the center of balance, of power, of harmony, of wisdom, of knowledge, of love, of power. Soul is the Garden of Eden. And you have 4 cords running out of the center of self. They're referred to as the Euphrates. Okay. Now, we're going to stop there. I think we got about 10, 15 minutes here.
What are you going to use then?
What, dear? No, we've already done this once, but I mean, I meant to put it up there to remind you, because at a point, this gets to be a matter of recall. To recall. You know, because once you hear it, once you read it, once you study it, you got it. The problem of recall is the problem that each one of us must solve, and that's a matter for many of us getting the proper vitamin back into our brain, the one that activates the recall lobe of the brain, vitamin B6. Okay? You know, if you know you're a smoker, if you know you like the scotch on the rock and the cherry bomb, and then you know it's affecting your cerebral. You know, it's robbing your body of its vitamins, its minerals, and its nutrients. Put it back. Okay. Yes.
You talked about, well, we spent a lot of time talking about forces.
Yes.
And mentioned several times and realized that all of these signs
Yes.
within us.
We are right. We are
Denominated by a particular one, according
in the 30 degrees of angle.
Right.
Gives us at that particular time of day, like, and I wanted to, I'll read it next time. It's right there in Revelation. The day, the hour, the day, the month, and the year. All the information you need to do a chart. It's right there in the book of Revelation. We'll get to it. Okay?
So then
Yes.
how then, if I'm understanding this,
Yes.
we are, and I'll just say, I guess, naturally important.
Uh-huh.
Then those things reference to Scorpio come naturally to us, or,
Yeah,
or easier
yeah.
for us to attain to?
The astrological science shows us our nature. What we're trying to do in coming to that level of knowledge is gain that knowledge and to get balance so that we're not dominated one way or the other by any particular force of any aspect of one set of 30 degrees, even our own. I shouldn't be all Sagittarius. All Sagittarians can be horrible. We think we know every damn thing, you know.
And the goal then is to achieve
Balance.
balance for all of us.
Yes,
no
sir.
matter where you are.
We're trying to get balance, and the only way you can get balance is to get G-O-D. That's the way you get balance. Yes. Then you have a new name written on your thigh. Okay. Put everything down. We're going to start working on that balance here. And, okay, dude, thank you. As I mentioned, the method of approach is, when you're practicing a technique, that's not meditation. I want to make that clear. That's not meditation. That's affecting your glands, your physiology, your cerebral, your nervous system, and your chakras. Tuning the body is what you're doing with technique. When you meditate, you're trying to do absolutely nothing. That's meditation. It's that complexly simple. The hardest thing for a human being to do is to do absolutely nothing. Once you're able to get there, which means completely relaxed, something opens. I don't know what. It depends on your own spiritual status at the time that you meditate. You may see the light. You may hear the word of God within. You may feel peace, joy, love, some fruit. Many things could happen. I don't know. The thing is to let go as you focus between the eyebrows, the point of spiritual sky, it's called. And relax and let it happen. That's meditation. You do technique. You ease from technique right into meditation. If you're using at home any of the music, you don't, when the tape goes off, you don't stop meditating, get up and go put the tape back on. You just keep meditating. Okay? You're not trying to find some wonderful music. The music helps you to get in harmony, to get balance. Okay? Now what do you have to go in there and get a tape? With the tape recorder? Yes, ma'am. What's that? No, symbolic, this is Om. O-M. This is the eye of Horus. This is the inch. So you let your spirit do it. You can do it, but at a certain point, your spirit will simply close your fingers. You'll just do it. That's why I suggest you turn your hands up. As you turn them down, you find yourself, when something strange goes sliding through the back of your head, you tend to tense up. And you're trying to relax, go just the opposite of tension in meditation. Okay? Yes. Signs and symbols of primordial man? Yeah, no, that's okay, but that's a lot of intellectualism. Signs and symbols of primordial man. Yeah. Excellent book. After you read the Kybalion, okay, the 7 cosmic laws of the universe, I'm supposed to hold this up. I'm trying to get all of Black America to read this book. The Kybalion. Not the Kabbalah, the Kybalion. 7 cosmic laws of the universe. That sister called me from South New Jersey and said, yeah, brother, I got the Kabbalah. Well, sister, you got the wrong one. And it's on it. She's got one of my tapes. But she's into the Hebrew Israelites, so she wanted to hear that Kabbalah was. This is a dissertation on the 7 cosmic laws of the universe. Clear, concise, and you keep working with them. You keep working, because these are mental laws. This is how the mind works. What you do is find out how to work these laws with your mind, thereby working in the universal mind that we live, move, and have our being in. You can't get around these if you want mental and spiritual power. Or if you want good sense. Yes, huh? Primordial man. Okay, feet flat on the floor, hands turned up. I want you to do, and you're supposed to do this at home, I want you at some point, all of you, to do 12-12 breathing techniques. Luna, Suna. Left nostril, cool air. Moon, Luna. Right nostril, sun, Suna, hot air. 12-12. Do them at home. We're not going to take all that time to do them here. We're going to do 3 here. Okay, so take your thumb and close your right nostril off and breathe in. Out through the mouth. Again. Again. Change nostrils. Okay, relax. Bring your attention between your eyebrows. Breathe calmly and naturally. Let's focus on a small circle of light. I was about to say dot. A small circle of light right between your eyebrows. Put it there in your own imagination.